Good afternoon. Down here later. Okay, it's time for me to carry on the clear up that I started the other week or so, and I thought I'd better get on with stuff whilst the weather's nice. Look at it, beautiful blue sky today. Okay. Possible blighty leaf on a tomato, not potato. I think the rest of it is probably more I'm thirsty than blight. So I really didn't feel like coming down here today. But now I'm down here, it's lovely. I don't know if you get like that. You're like, oh, I don't want to go down there, it's too much work. But I did stop at the charity shop before, and I got a good, lovely green jumper, and a couple of grey ones. And you're probably thinking, why do I want grey? Well, this week that I'm filming this is Brain Tumour Awareness Week, and the colour for that is grey. Obviously to do with brain. People think that big grey. So yeah, I thought this was quite nice. Might wear it to choir tonight. So yeah, given I've got a benign tumour, my sister's got a cancerous brain tumour. You know, we both got stuff in our heads. Hers is obviously worse than mine. I want to support the charity. For next year, I will buy one of their t-shirts or hoodies. So then it kind of screams it at people, because there's not enough research that goes into brain tumours. There needs to be lots more. So I love a good car boot sale or charity shop. I very rarely buy brand new clothing. Obviously, you know, underwear you have to, but the rest of it I'm quite happy to buy secondhand. You know, occasionally it's vintage, but I will use clothing until I go off with it or it wears out. I don't follow fashion fads, I just like what I like. How about you? Well, I'm looking at the herb bed. Ooh, there. And I chopped it back over a month ago. And I wondered if would that kill off some of the lavender, because I wasn't exactly gentle, but it looks like everything has bounced back nicely, which is good. I'll show you, I'll give you a closer look. So the chives has gone nice. I think that's the what do you call it? Comfrey. How can I forget that? You've got lavenders behind. Even the orange balms bounce back. The mint, the winter savoury. It's all looking quite nice. And there's even, I'm assuming it's a form of a salvia. It's probably a sage. Just about that way. And it's in flower. So, this bed I dug over last time, it really needed it with the bindweed and stuff in there. So, I'm going to cover that, weed and sweep the next path, and then start dealing with that brassica, overgrown brassicas. I don't think there's anything I can save there, so I'm going to chop it back, take the slug halos off, and just kind of just work my way that way. Talking of halos, these ones over here that are around the squash plants. I mean, look, I would have thought those would have got killed by the frost. No, not quite. Desperately trying to flower. Bit late, mate. Way too late. I'm not pulling it out, but there's no way it'll make anything edible. So yeah, I'm just working my way down because that end of the plot is a mess. But a little bit at a time. So aside from, I decided not to pull it all out. I've just pruned it back. So if it wants to produce more heads over the winter, not heads, you know, little flowers, it can. I think that we should have enough, slightly warm enough weather that they might still produce. I figured, what's the harm? They're still low enough to be under the nets. The only downfall is that I got a nice blister from chopping up all the thick stalks. I think it's time to put a plaster on. The only other unpleasant thing is the amount of whitefly. There were loads on there. There were loads flying around. I had to keep going all like that. But it's an ecosystem. They're just a pain. So over here on this Tortondine kelp, aside from there's lots of kelp, there's 10 billion, looks like whitefly. Is this black fly or is this just the kind of sooty? No, I think it's just probably the whitefly poo or whatever it is. I think it's time to take some more cuttings of this. It's not looking very edible at the moment. Well, aside from eye drops, nail file, headache tablets, mints, I did have some plasters in my handbag, so I'll put one on my blister. I guess really I should have put one on to prevent it rather than putting one on after the blister formed, and you kept using it and so the skin split, so gotta watch it doesn't get infected. Oh well. Well, it gives me a good excuse to stop for a couple of cherry bakewells. I know it's high sugar and processed, but it's nice just every now and then to have something that you shouldn't really. Now the only problem with these cherry bakewells is I love fresh cherries, but I don't like these glazed ones. So I have to pick out the cherry, put it into back in the pocket, and then eat the rest without losing all the decent icing on the top. Well, I finished it, oops, fairly easy this time. So, yummy. Okay, I can't just sit there eating. I think what will make me feel best is if I read the path here. And although I'm not taking out squash plants, make sure those paths are weeded. And then, should I do into that? I guess slightly tidy up whatever that big thing in that vertical one is. And then, yeah, if I do these, if I concentrate on paths, then it will mean that this whole top half of the allotment will be tidy and weeded, and then I'll just have the disaster area that's the front half of the plot. I think that's a good plan, because I don't have unlimited time down here. It came down quite late for me, so yep, that's gonna look more encouraging for me. I don't know if you can hear that. It's the Avonmouth siren for testing the siren, just in case nothing goes wrong yet. It's the 3rd of the month, so that means there's no chemical spill or anything, and they're just doing the monthly test. Well, I think, considering it's 3:30, I think that would do for today. So I've done about 3 hours. Basically, apart from picking dried beans or fresh beans, most of it's gone dry now though. Apart from that, the rest of the beds are either cleared and covered or pruned back, or like the cabbages over there. Some of them might come to something. I have swept the paths, the side paths and the main path, and pulled up what weeds I can. So now I'm up to the brassica cage, which is halfway. So all that behind me is tidy. So next time I come will be this mammoth task of the first half. I'm not sure you can see it with the lighting there, but it's a bit messy. So it will be weeding and covering that, weeding the leeks, reclaiming the path, taking out the sweet corn, etc. Tackling the messy brassica tent and taming the very wild fruit area. So I'm down the messy end of the plot. I'm guessing what has caused this must be rodents or moles or mice. Let me show you. Look at this. That's a Swiss chard. That should not be like that. Just flat. Something has undermined it. So look, this half looks like a disaster zone. But that is what, a little bit just under half the plot. Hopefully it won't take too long to recover. Well, I'm in the greenhouse and there is just a small handful of tomatoes. I don't know if the rest of them will survive, but we'll see. Gonna strim along this path as much as I can. They're starting to get a bit overgrown. Oh, that looks a lot better. A lot more in control. Well, I think considering the sun's going to disappear behind that tree soon, I think that will do. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. I'm off.